Hey, so if your hips are really tight and you feel like a lot of stretches are a little bit too challenging or advanced for you, or maybe you don't even know what to stretch but you're looking to get started, then I'm going to take you through 3 beginner stretches, beginner-friendly stretches that I think can benefit most people who have restricted hips. So if you struggle with deep squatting or getting into a nice long lunge or even comfortably sitting down on the floor, then this is for you, and I encourage you to try these stretches with me. And then if you have any questions, you can just pop them into the comments and I'll get back to you. So for this first stretch, we're going to be targeting our hip flexors. So I want you to find, if you don't have a soft floor, I want you to find something soft to place your knee onto. And then I want you to grab a chair or a stool as well, or something for balance. You can use a wall as well. So go ahead and grab those. Now the hip flexors are super important because they get lengthened and stretched every time we take a step forward or run or take a big step forward or take a big step up onto a higher surface. So it's a really functional muscle and it needs to be able to go into a lengthened position. So you're going to place your knee on that nice soft surface. Then you can have your chair in front of your back leg. You could also have it on the other side. That's fine too, just whatever is comfortable for you. And then from here, you're just simply going to push your hips forward toward your front foot while keeping your back fairly straight, like so. Now, if you feel that your front knee or your front ankle is stopping you from getting lower, either due to pain or just a restriction, then you can just scoot that front foot forward like so. Now for a lot of us who haven't stretched in a while, this can be really intense. So I encourage you to just back off if it is intense, to just make it doable for at least 30 seconds. Okay, so make sure that it is not too challenging. You can place your hands or your forearms onto your chair in front of you to help take a little bit of weight off. And now what we're going to do is we're going to go into some contractions in order to build some strength within the stretch. And what this is going to do is it's going to signal to our brain that we are strong and safe here, which is going to allow us to go deeper over time. It's also going to make our hips and our hip flexors more resilient, which is really cool. So once you've found your stretch, if you need more of a stretch, you can lean back as well. Let's do a contraction here. So you're going to think about driving your knee down into the floor and forward, like you're trying to drag it forward, but without actually allowing it to move. Let's do that for 10 seconds here. So go ahead and start pushing the knee down and forward. Try and squeeze your hip flexor for 10, 9, 8. If it's too intense, you can just dial it down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then try and relax and hold here for 10 more seconds. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then we can slowly push out. Now for some people that can be enough. You can come out, you can rest, and then it's good to come back in 1 or 2 more times. If you are quite comfortable in that position, then it can be quite good to stay there and to repeat that for a few more rounds. Let's go into the other side now. So, knee onto something soft, other foot in front, push the hips forward. Again, using something for balance. And then if you want to make this side even with the other side in terms of how long you held this stretch for, then you can just pause the video and hold this for a few more deep breaths. Now I'm going to go into the contractions. So let's begin. Go ahead and drive that back knee down and forward through the floor for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then go ahead and try and relax that back hip as best you can. Deep breaths. If you feel like something opened up, you can sink deeper. If you feel like that was a little bit intense, you can always back out. We always want to feel safe. And then after those 10 seconds, we can come out. Well done. So that was the hip flexor stretch. So if you're really new and that felt quite challenging, then a good start would be to do one round, then to come out, rest for 10 to 20 seconds, and then to come back in 1 to 2 more times, and then seeing if you can do that 1 to 2 times a week. Next up, we're going to stretch our glutes, which is really important for being able to squat deep, which can help you wash your floors and do your gardening without having to get your knees dirty. And it's also going to help with being able to sit down on the floor in this cross-legged position nice and comfortably. Now, a few people under the comments of my YouTube videos have mentioned that a few of the glute stretches that I have given, such as the wall glute stretch or the 90-90 or the incline pigeon, is just way too advanced for them and they just can't get into that position. So I've been playing around with this position and I really like it. So you're going to start off by lying down on your side. Almost. You're not going to be fully lying down, but you're going to be propped up on your forearm here. And then I want you to keep your top leg straight, and I want you to see if you can bring your bottom knee forward so that it sits in line with your hip there. And then you also want to have a 90-degree bend in your knee. So you don't want your leg straight, and you don't want your heel nice and close to your bum. So you want it just in the middle there. From there, I want you to open up your chest and arch your back like you're trying to push your nipples forward towards me. And then from there, you're going to try and twist your body away from your feet. And then at the same time, try and lean forward, but without rounding the back. So you're going to stay open, nice proud chest. And then you can play around with more twisting and going further forward. Now, if you don't feel a glute stretch, you can also try and elevate your foot like so. So again, elevating the foot, open chest, rotate toward your hand, and then lean forward. You might get a glute stretch there. You can also try and lean forward first, and then you can rotate. And the higher you elevate your foot, the more of a glute stretch you can tend to find. And this might take a bit of playing around with. You might find that moving your head and your body closer to your back shoulder or your elbow might get you a better stretch. You might find that moving forward towards the knee a little bit more might get you a nicer stretch. So play around with it. You can also try to pop up onto your hand like so and see if that makes a bit of a difference. And if you're straight or if your top hip is restricting you, then you can always play around with sitting down on some blocks or some pillows and see if that makes it a little bit easier. Now, as you're doing this, it is really, really important that you really try and exaggerate the arching of that back and the sticking out of that tailbone. So try and stick your butt out like you're trying to show it off as you're in that position, because for months, when I first started stretching my glutes, for months, I could not find a nice glute stretch because my back just stayed straight or it started rounding without me realizing it. So really, really, really try and think about pushing the belly button and the nipples forward and really opening up that chest as you lean forward and twist. Okay, let's apply some contractions here to make this stretch more effective and to see faster progress. So once you've found that glute stretch, you're going to push your foot down into the floor or your blocks or your pillows for 10 seconds. So let's do that now. Push the foot down and try and squeeze and contract the glute that's being stretched for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then just relax. Deep breaths. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good work. And let's do that on the other side. So go ahead and switch over, either on your hand or your elbow. Pause the video if you need more time to get set up. Once again, we're arching the back, we're twisting, and we're trying to push the belly button forward as we lean forward. And then let's contract. Push the foot down for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then just relax for 10, 9, 8, deep breath in, deep breath out. And then let's slowly come out. Now, because we're all different, I can't guarantee that this will be the best glute stretch for you or the most effective glute stretch for you. In fact, some people might not even feel it at all, which is why in about a week's time, I'll be making another video that's going to go over 7 different types of glute stretches. So make sure you stay tuned for that one. And if you're also looking to find which stretches are the most effective stretches for all areas of your hips, not just your glutes or your hip flexors, but for all ranges of motion, then I have created a 4-week hip mobility program. It's linked down below, and that basically is going to take you through all of the most effective stretches, hip stretches that I have seen work for a bunch of the stiff adults that I have worked with. The last area of the hips that we're going to target is hip internal rotation, which is this motion right here. And so that can help a lot with being able to maneuver yourself around on the floor, as being able to do this cool dance move right here that my dad taught me. And yeah, without it, it is also very hard to squat, and it is just important for the overall function of our hips. So the problem is that the most common internal rotation stretch is this 90-90 stretch right here. But this is a really awkward position to get into if your hips are really tight, because straight away it puts you into a pretty lengthened position in terms of your front leg and your back leg. So it can be really awkward, and it can be really hard to get into. So this one is really nice instead. You're gonna grab a chair or a table, preferably a table, something that has a pretty sturdy leg that's not going to move. A chair might not be super sturdy, so you can always place weight on your chair. You can also use the corner of a wall. So let me show you what I mean. You're going to place your foot, the inside of your foot, up against a leg of the table or the chair or the corner of a wall, basically anything that's not going to move. From there, you're going to enter this lunge position here. You're going to make sure your foot is firmly placed up against that immovable object. And then from there, you are simply going to twist and rotate your body in towards your back leg. So instead of turning away, you're turning in. And if you struggle with balance, then you can also hold onto a chair in front of you. So we're simply twisting in, and that'll help you find a nice stretch in your hip. If you struggle finding the stretch, you just have to twist a little bit more. And you can also think about sinking your butt back as you twist in. And then for the contraction, what we're going to do is we're going to push our back foot into that immovable object, okay? Like we're creating this motion right here, okay? So we are pushing our foot in under our bum. So let's do that for 10 seconds. So again, we're rotating in. We find that stretch in the hip, and let's begin that contraction. So go ahead and push the foot in. You can see this chair's not very stable here. Try and find something more stable. For 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then relax. Try and relax the hip for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good work. Let's do this on the other side. So if I was to switch sides right here, I would put the inside of my other foot up against that immovable object, that leg, and then from there, I just turn in towards that leg like so. I'm just going to do this here from a nicer angle so you can see me. So I'm turning in. Pause the video if you need more time to get into the stretch. Again, if you have any questions, you can ask me as well. And then let's go ahead and push the foot in for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then just relax for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good work. Slowly come out of there. Thank you so much for watching. Thanks to the great invention of these chairs that made your hips so tight. So now you're watching my video and getting to know me. No, really, get rid of the chair as soon as you can. As soon as your hip mobility starts to improve, try and sit down on the floor, little bits at a time, few minutes a day. If your knees are stuck up here, you can use blocks under your knees or pillows to make it more comfortable. Try and spend a bit of time here. Try and do some work. Try and, if you have a dog, just try and spend some time with your dog here. It'll help a lot. These things have really fucked up our hips. I hope you learned something. I hope you were able to stretch the areas of your hips that have been restricting you from living a more full and free life. I really hope that this has helped. I'm continuing to learn and to educate myself and to train my own hips, because they are, you know, even though they're okay, there's still a lot of work to be done. So stay tuned. I will continue making videos as I continue to learn more and more. Have a good day.